My name is Brent Hoskins, and I do serve as Executive Director of the Business Technology Association. And we do welcome you all today to this BTA 101 call. We've been doing these about the last, I don't know, maybe 3 years, something like that. And we started them when we started realizing that there's a lot of members that didn't know all that we do. And sometimes we've had members be members for many years, and then we get in a conversation and realize what we thought maybe took for granted is a very obvious member benefit. Maybe they didn't know details about. And certainly new members don't always know all the full scope of the membership. So what we started doing is scheduling these calls. So Brian Smith, who you may be the most familiar with because he is our membership sales representative and talks to dealers on a daily basis. And he's going to walk us through the website and talk about some of the member benefits. And our hope is that you'll find things that maybe you hadn't seen before that you can take a look at and maybe take advantage of as a member of the association. We are a small staff. There are actually 5 of us, myself and Brian Smith and Valerie Briseno. You may know her name. She's a membership marketing director for BTA. Elizabeth Marvel's the associate editor, and Brooke Barker is our administrative assistant. So there are only 5 of us. However, we do have a group of probably 25 elected volunteers at the district and the national level. I report to the national board president, and then work closely with all the board of directors. There are 12 members of the board. We'll be talking about that in a minute. And so we lean on them heavily because they, have spent their careers in the industry. For the most part, they are owners, but sometimes they're senior management. But we lean on them for so many ways, in so many ways that I think sometimes when they sign up to be a volunteer, they don't always realize we're going to be reaching out to the extent that we do. But they're happy to do it, and they guide us in all of our events and many of the programs that we offer. I mentioned the staff is small, but I do want to mention that collectively we have more than 90 years of experience with the association, believe it or not. We've been here, several of us have been here for many, many years. And I only say that to say that, we know a lot of folks. And if you think that at some point that we could help you, we would be glad to do so, introducing you to others, connecting you with a vendor, whatever. If you're looking for something, reach out to us. Brian is, I mentioned, works with dealers in terms of membership sales and renewals, et cetera, but he's also a resource to you that if you're just looking for some information and you think BTA may be able to help you out, reach out to Brian. You can reach out to any of us, but Brian does this on a regular basis and he kind of tracks down the answer, finds someone for you to speak with. So I'm going to turn it over to Brian. He's going to talk through the website. I'm going to give him a break here and there along the way and kind of chime in on a few things. But with that, Brian, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Brent. Appreciate you all taking some time and joining us this afternoon. Hope you had a happy holidays. I know you're swamped after the holidays, so we'll kind of get right to it. Can you see my screen, Brent?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we'll just get right after it then. The first thing we would like to do is have everybody have a login. So if you go to the BTA page, bta.org, up here on the login, you just click on the login and you scroll down here. And if you don't have an account, you just say create one. And you create one here, and it's pretty simple information. You just put your name, email address, and hit submit. And you'll get a confirmation email back to you to finish the login. Now, I've already logged in as Adam Gregory. He is the BTA president, and I'll show you some of the board of directors here in a little bit. But when you log in, you are taking to what we call the info hub. And this is kind of the back end of the BTA or your account, basically. So the most important sections here really are my info. You click on that and you can update all of your contact information here. You've got some related businesses that you can, click on, or related. And there you can update all of the, number of locations, number of employees, a lot of your information, brands carried and such. And then you've also got related contacts there as well. So these are all the people that are listed under Advanced Business Solutions. The other side is the member directory. You'll need to be logged in or this won't appear. So member directory, and that helps you find people across the BTA channel. Let's see here. Go ahead and click for me anytime. There we go. Okay. And what you can do is come up here and customize this search for you. So let's just say we're looking for brands carried and how many people or how many members sell the Brother line. So you just put Brother in there and up pops the members that carry Brother. So you can do that with most any of the lines that you're interested in. You can also search by state, city, or the name of the company. If you know the name of the company, maybe the employee or the individual at the company. So there's a number of ways that you can search the database using that function right there. And then once you're into the Info Hub, you just scroll down here to BTA homepage and it pops open and you've got the BTA homepage right here. So this will have all the information on BTA. You can come, we'll just start right here with About Us. And this page here kind of gives you an overview of all the BTA information. You got the history of BTA, member testimonials. There's a photo archive section. There's video archives. So there's some good information here under the About Us tab and a lot of the testimonials. And Brent mentioned it in the beginning, the National Board of Directors. BTA in 1926, we're going to have our 100th year here in a couple of years, but BTA was founded in 1926 by dealers for dealers, and it's still run by the dealer. And this is a list of the national officers, and there's Adam Gregory, and there's his contact information. Next year, Deborah Dennis will be the president. And these are all district representatives of the national board. And I bring this up because it's a great opportunity to just contact any of these guys if you got a question or a thought. And like Brent said, I haven't run a dealership, so, they might know some more information that I don't have. And so it'd be a good contact. And then there's Greg Goldberg down here, the BTA legal counsel, and we'll touch on him shortly. Also, we have districts. So there's 4 BTA districts, the West, the Mid-America, Southeast, and the East. And you can pick any one of these and just click on it and up pops some district officers there. So once again, more contacts that you can access, either in your district if you want to talk to somebody, or if you feel like it's a sensitive issue, contact somebody out in the West if you need be. But so those are good contacts to have. And then the last one is the BTA headquarters staff. There's Brent, Valerie, Elizabeth, myself, and there's Brooke. So our contact information is there as well. Just kind of scrolling across, we have these tabs up here that have drop-down menus. I'll just start right here. The BTA 101 call. So this call here, there's already one posted, the last call that we did. We'll post another one right here. So that's where the BTA 101 call, if you want to revisit it, you can come back here. You got member testimonials. Here's the vendors that support the BTA channel. You can also access the vendors right here. And then I'll just kind of start right here with the dealer help and dealer discussion groups. This was founded during the COVID era, and it's a great opportunity to network with fellow dealers, learn new ideas and strategies. So we've set up this group, and there's 5 groups. There's 3 owners, 1 service, and 1 sales group. I think I've missed it again.
You got it pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Three for owners and senior management, 1 for service, and 2 for sales. And
yeah, I knew I wrote that down somewhere.
I'll give you one of these breaks right now because it's fresh in my mind. We had, I've had 3 dealers helping dealers calls this week, including one this morning, just a few hours ago. It was the service group. I think I counted 17 service managers who were on the call, and in non-competing dealerships. Today they talked about car stock inventory, and they also talked about the best kind of vehicles for, they said there's fewer
smaller
vans out there on the market, so they're trying to find some other vehicles, and so they were kind of comparing notes on what kind of vehicles the dealerships use. But a lot of time was spent on car stock inventory, and and what's expected there. And it's a great opportunity for not just service managers in my example, but for owners and sales managers. We get together regularly. Two of the groups have met since May of 2020 every 2 weeks. And so there are well over 100 calls, and we've had people who have attended most all of them. And so it's free, it's part of membership. Come and go as you please. That meaning I know that things come up. It's hard to be on every call, but we keep you on the invite list until you say, don't keep me on the invite list, or something changes in your situation. But it's a simple task. What we do is we just get together when folks register via Zoom. There's a question that says, what topics or issues would you like the group to discuss in this call? And then we spend about an hour going over all those questions. And so I know that everybody's got busy schedules, but I can tell you for a fact that some of these people on the calls, it's very encouraging to me to hear the benefit to them in terms of what they've learned. And they occasionally mention something that they learned months ago and that they've implemented in their business. It's helped them boost the bottom line and improve the effectiveness of their businesses. And it's free. It's just part of membership. And it goes with this theme that we've had long before we named these tools that you're seeing on the screen there, dealers helping dealers. And so it's something to think about. If it's of interest to you, just reach out to me at any time at brent@bta.org, and I'll see if get you lined up with a group that'll work well for you. So Brian, I'll turn it back over to you.
All righty, there's Brent's email real quick, brent@bta.org. The discussion group is the one of three-legged stool on the Dealer Helping Dealer. We've also got the question and answer, and like I said, it was originally started in the COVID years, so there's questions and answers about COVID here. But more importantly, here's other questions that were being run throughout, since the inception. So the questions that are asked and then they're answered, and my hamsters are moving quite along right here. So you can just you ask the question, we send the question out to the membership as a whole, and then we get answers back. And then we post those here at the Dealer Helping Dealer question and answer. There's also usually one question asked for the BTA Office Technology magazine that comes out every month. So one of those questions would be listed there as well. The third leg is the repair network, and we've started this. If you have a customer that has national accounts and they're outside your given territory, you could come here. First, you need to sign up for it. So it's real simple to sign up. Just put your name, company information, brand you carry, and you plop it in here. And then if you got somebody that you need help in Texas to install equipment, you can click on one of these pins, and the information, the brands that they carry, and the contact information would pop up right there. And what you could also do is, if somebody is looking to install in your area, if you've got one of these pins sitting there, they can contact you. You two can get together and get the install, and it's a great way to help each other out. So I'd encourage you to sign up for the Dealer Helping Dealer Repair Network, and you can find that by just hovering over this benefits tab, and right here it says Dealer Helping Dealers, and that'll take you to the main page, and there you have it, the Repair Network. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and holler at me, and don't hesitate. Going down this line here, we've also have two peer groups. There's the Pro Dealer Group and there's the Select Dealer Group. Now, these are separate from the BTA membership itself. You have to be a member to join it, but it has separate fees to join one of these groups. And there's a territory map for each group here, and they are non-competing dealers, and they meet once or twice, maybe 3 times a year, to discuss best practices and information like that. So you've got the Select Dealer Group, and there's their map, and you also have the Pro Dealer Group individuals right here. And Brent is the contact for the Pro Dealer Group. But if I scroll down here, there's a map down here. I forgot to mention that Valerie Persino is the contact for the Select Dealer Group. And here's another map. So the idea is, if you're sitting in South Charleston, West Virginia, you're not likely going to be able to join this group. So unless it is approved by these members. But these are great opportunities to network with people across the country and figure out what everybody is is up to, and get some help. And like I say, these individuals have run dealerships, and I haven't, so they would have more information than I would necessarily.
Yeah.
Brent, would you like to jump in?
Yeah, let me just mention one thing that just comes to mind. As Brian mentioned, I work with the Pro Dealer Group, and they've got a meeting coming up in February in Fort Lauderdale. So about now, we're looking forward to that with all the snow on the ground here heading to Florida. But what I wanted to mention is they work with Strategic Business Associates. So that's John Hay and Todd Johnson, and Todd and John also work with not only SDG and Pro Dealer Group, but BPCA and CDA. And so what happens if you're a member of the two groups under the BTA umbrella, every year you fill out or complete a financial survey based on the metrics of your business as taught in Pro Finance and the various benchmarks, et cetera. You turn them in to Todd Johnson. He's the only person that sees them. And what I mean by that is you're not revealing anything to your fellow members in your peer group, but what you end up with is here's a report on my dealership as compared to the aggregate of all my fellow dealers. And so that identifies where the group maybe have some strengths and weaknesses, maybe weaknesses that they need to work on. In the Pro Dealer Group, I'm sure Select Dealer Group does this as well, but in the Pro Dealer Group, they often have panel discussions among the dealer members based on the results of the survey. We might say, here are the dealers that are doing the best on profitability, not necessarily revealing the numbers, but just identify them as those who've kind of risen to the top. And then they share their best practices and stories and respond to questions. And having been to dozens and dozens of the Pro Dealer Group meetings, there's a camaraderie, a friendship. It's a special thing that they've developed with one another. And it's far beyond just in the meeting. They are in contact all the time, visiting each other's dealerships, communicating via email and otherwise, along the way, asking each other's questions. If you got something come up, you're like, well, I wonder what so-and-so is doing about it. Oh, now you can just call them. When you look at the map, as an example, just there's people all over the country in different geographies, et cetera. So if that's of interest to you, reach out to us and we'll see if there's a fit either in Select Dealer Group or the Pro Dealer Group. So thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I was under membership. So now if we go to the benefits tab, you can see if you click on the benefits tab right there up top, this will take you to the benefits page. And what it is the rest of them are just drop down. So the legal services is legal services, business support. So you could either access it, with the drop down, or you can just click on this button, the benefits tab right there, and the benefits opens up. And I'll just kind of go down a couple of these. The BTA Legal Services is one of the most used services here at BTA. And Greg Goldberg, I don't know, a lot of you may know his father, Bob Goldberg, that was with BTA Legal Counsel for 40 plus years. And Bob retired last year, and Greg has taken over. And Greg is located out in California. And if you've got unlimited consultation and advice with Greg Goldberg, you can call him up every day and say, "Hi, Greg, how's the weather out there?" And it won't cost you a dime. Or you can call him up and say, "Hey, I've got some issues with this employee. How should I handle it?" And all those conversations you can have with him. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you can also contact Greg right here via email any way that you'd like to. The way the legal services work, the kind of the line in the sand is this: if it affects the industry as a whole, Greg will help you out a lot more than if it affects just you as an individual. So example, if you need a dealer manufacturer agreement done up for you, he is probably, or BTA has probably already negotiated a contract. So you'd call him up and say, "Hey, do you have a dealer-approved Kyocera dealer manufacturer agreement with the I's dotted and the T's crossed?" He'll say yes. So that affects the industry as a whole, more Kyocera dealers. But if you called him up and says, "Hey, my landlord gave me a new lease to sign, would you take a look at it?" Well, he can't look at 1,000 leases every year, and he'd never be able to get anything else done. You maybe sweet talk him and he could charge it, or something like that. But generally speaking, the line in the sand is if it affects the industry as a whole, you're better off there than if it just affects you. And also, don't forget that you can call him up anytime to get advice and consultation over the phone on any matter. So that's kind of the breakdown on that. We also have, BTA approved contracts, but right here is the legal documents. And here's kind of an overview of what some of the documents are. You need to be logged in to access the documents themselves, and they are Word documents. And you can download, cut and paste. So underneath each one, there's some other information like application for employment. So all these are individual documents that you could access. There's equipment documents, equipment leasing, partnership agreements. So there's a host of already prepaid or created documents that all you have to do is cut and paste and customize it to your dealership. And you can call up Greg and say, hey, Greg, I've downloaded one of these confidentiality agreements. Can you help me explain this section or something to that effect? So there's a lot of flexibility on this, but it's a good way to update your transactional documents going forward. Let's see here. So we've got the legal services. We've got the BTA scholarship. This is starting just this year, so it is active now. If any of your employees have children, college age, senior and high school, college age students that are going to school, you can come here and access the application. And the BTA scholarship has been around since 1985, 86, 84, 85 school year. And we've given out almost 1,600 scholarships worth $1.8 million. And here's a list of some of the scholarships that you can access: 1,500, $2,000, $3,000 for Goldberg, and I think there's 2 of them for Goldberg. So and here's who's eligible. And I know that Brent loves to sign the check that he sends out to individuals, so I'll let him kind of touch base a little bit on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I love to do it because it's obviously we're helping the next generation, and you can see the on the screen there the check presentations. What we do is when we award the scholarship, we mail the check actually to the sponsoring dealership. And then we notify the student, who's the son or daughter of a full-time employee of that dealership, that they've been awarded a scholarship. Get with their parents' employer and for a presentation, and then you can see what they've done there. Sometimes, like I see one there, they kind of blow up the check as people do, and it's a very special thing, and it's very cool. And so you may not even be aware of it. We've been doing this, like Brian said, from the 84-85 school year, but that's really as far back as we have records. It actually started in the 1960s. We just, we came to BK moved to the Kansas City in 84-85, and frankly, a few records were lost to us, so we don't know the history and the totals before that. But and I do want to mention or emphasize that Brian's already mentioned it, that these are evaluated by an independent, impartial evaluator. He's a dean at a 4-year university here in the Kansas City area. He reviews them all, and based on his criteria, determines the winners and kind of stack ranks them, a point system, I'm sure. But we stay out of it entirely. We have no influence at all on who the winners are. We have that done by that that evaluator. So, and I think, Brian, did you show the poster? I'm sorry. That we do have a poster that you could print out and post in your break room, and so that your employees can kind of see this as something they maybe want to take advantage of. It's clearly points them to where they can fill out the scholarship application, a phone number to call. Elizabeth Marvel, we kind of briefly introduced her early in the call, but she is a person who currently manages this. It's actually in the process of being turned over, assisted by Brooke Barker, so you'll see her name as well as we continue to promote this. But it's just a reminder that the benefit of the association is not only for the owners and senior management, but for every employee. And what's really cool about this is, among other things, is that you're not limited to 1 year. There are students that apply through their all 4 years of college and win all 4 years. And so something to think about. I know every little bit helps. College is expensive. These awards currently are at $1,500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. There's actually talk internally about increasing those. And so you might see that we're able to do that in these coming months. Anyway, haven't taken advantage. I encourage you to not forget about this member benefit and realize that the deadline is that May 1st of this year now. So thank you, Brian.
Right, and there's Elizabeth Marvel's contact information there on the scholarship page, and there's the due date by May 1st on that. Going through there, we've got the business support services. So there's a host of support services that you can get to. We've got a disaster grant program that we've used here recently with the devastating hurricanes in the North Carolina region. We've got Ask the Analyst. You can go ahead and just contact them, ask them an industry question. They'll answer it for you. So there's a host of business support services that are here. Some of them are free to access. Dealer submitted comp plans and documents and videos. So there's some information underneath all these links. So you got job descriptions, some comp plans, documents, prospecting videos that sales reps across the dealer channel have submitted. So it kind of gives you an idea of some of the things that are going on out there in the other world. So the business support services, there's a host of them there. And like I say, you can access that right by going to that drop-down menu. We've got the channel trends and research. This is where the business equipment quota index is located, and that is a tool that can help you identify the potential of any given territory. And the manufacturers use this information to help set your quotas for what they send. So you can come in here and access your state for $150. And let me show you one thing that you can apply to that with your membership, you get a $400 discount code for 1 year and $950 in discount codes in 2 years. So you can take some of these discount codes and apply it to the Becky, and it would initially or roughly be free of charge for one state. So you got the Becky there. There's more information underneath there, and then some information. Let's see here. Then we've got our discounted programs. We touched on Dealer Helping Dealer. There's some discounted programs here that you can access. Product evaluation, shipping and freight, contact UPS. A lot of dealers have found some pretty good savings on the shipping side of things. And then let's see here, we've got some insurance programs, but I want to touch on the education. We've got in workshop and e-workshop. So one of the best is the Pro Finance. Brent kind of mentioned that earlier. This is Hay and Johnson. And what it does is show you what good looks like in your dealership. And this is one of the most popular workshops that we have. And it's a C-level workshop. So you just go there, and the next one's going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio in March. So here's a list of the Pro Finance workshops that are coming up. Got some testimonials as well. And then the education, we've got certifications. We've got CompTIA vouchers, IT University, which is a lifetime IT training course. Got free sales training information. So there's a host of information here on the educational side of it as well. And then I thought I wanted to touch one more on the district events here. Let's see, where did I go with that? There we go. BTA events, we're going to have 2 this year. And one's going to be held down in Orlando, Florida, March 6th and 8th at the Grand Floridian. And then our national conference will be outside just north of Albuquerque, New Mexico in June. And these are just fantastic networking opportunities that you can attend. And it's a great location, great information. So you just click on that, and this will pop up and show you some of the information. And at the spring break event, there's going to be a special eAutomate Elevate that the Dealer Helping Dealers group is presenting for eAutomate users. So it ought to be a pretty good give and take Q&A, anywhere from small eAutomate users to large. And, there's some there's some issues out there that people are wanting to discuss and get out in the open. So that would be a great opportunity to access that. Um, let's see here. So if anybody has any questions, we're about at the half-hour mark. Trying to keep it short and sweet. Cliff Notes version. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and give me a shout.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Nice job. And yes, if you do have any questions, let us know, or just speak up, because we're all kind of live here on this call. Keep in mind that we understand that we work for you. The association, as Brian mentioned early on, is approaching 100 years old. It was founded in 1926. We do have some historical records on that. And we know that that was typewriter dealers in 1926, and they convened here in Kansas City, where we are, to form the association, with the thought that there's strength in numbers, and that dealers could help one another improve their businesses. And all these years later, 98 years later, coming up on 100 years, or 99 years now, because it was January of 1926 that they met. We're still doing what we did. The technology's changed, the world's changed, everything's changed. But what hasn't changed is that the focus of the association is dealers helping one another, and it is the core members is the dealer, and the dealers govern the association. So we are employed by you, we are employed by the association, and we're glad to help you in any way we can. Do not ever hesitate to reach out to us. It's really easy to do so. We say that we have the easiest email addresses in the industry. Just as an example, I'm Brent at bta.org. So it's just our first names at bta.org. You probably see, I also editor the magazine, so maybe you see my name in there, but, reach out to us anytime if you think we could help. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end the call for the day. If you've got some associates in your business, you'd like them to see this starting tomorrow, this will be posted on the website where Brian had shown you earlier, as far as, for the next month until we do our next call. So like he's showing on screen, that should have been our last call that we did. We try to keep them fresh, and we like to do these live in case there are questions, and connect you that way. And then of course we just record it and save it for others to look at. As you can imagine, we have a fair number of people looking at the recording at their own schedule or whatever. So, all right. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your membership in the association. Reach out to us anytime. And we look forward to seeing some of you, or if not all of you, either in Orlando or Albuquerque here in 2025. Thank you all. Bye-bye for now.
Happy New Year.